Don't take things personally. As a student, you must have heard about this thing. Okay, whenever you want to go to a workplace, you actually start wondering, okay, what should I do and what should I not do? What is the professional things? What is the professional way of doing things and what is the non-professional way of doing things? So in this video, I'm going to discuss in detail because I don't want you to end up in a situation where you will sit in front of your boss and they will discuss you, Avinash, that was way too unprofessional. So in this video, we are going to discuss what are some of the professional etiquettes as a student we have to follow when we are going to a workplace. If you're looking for internships or if you're looking for jobs as a fresher, if I talk about maybe you're a third year student or maybe you're a fourth year student, try to understand one thing, that this is something which is very important and unfortunately, this is not taught. I don't know why, but that is the scenario. So that is why I want to give you a head start in this particular topic. So let's quickly get started. So first of all, let's try to understand, why do I even need to learn this? Why do I even need to get some professional etiquettes? So try to understand that it actually helps us promote the teamwork, because obviously we are working in a team. It's not, when you're joining a company, it's not that you're working in an individual company, or I would say as an individual, you're working as a team. Irrespective of the size of the project, you're working as a team. Secondly, it shows a positive public image. So obviously, if Avinash is going to be very professional, I mean with professional, I mean he understands what is happening. So what he will do, he will simply say, okay, this is how things are happening. And people will say, okay, Avinash is quite professional and I like to work with Avinash. Okay, so try to understand that it actually portrays a positive image, which is actually quite vital. Now, the final thing is it helps us build good relationship. Now, obviously, if you are having some positive image, it will help you actually make some positive image of yourself, and it will actually help you make good relationships. The point which is not mentioned here and I want to add here is that it actually helps you understand the other person's point of view. I'll give you a scenario. Today is Friday right now and you have planned a movie, and there is an urgent requirement in the current budget. Okay, I mean not the budget, I mean project. So what you will do, you will plan out, okay, I'm going for a movie, so sir, can I please leave early? And obviously your boss will say, no Avinash, you have to complete this right now because ultimately we are losing the deadline. Now you will say, okay, you hate me because you don't want me to enjoy and you feel like that I should not watch movie because you are not going to get the movie. No, it's not like that. The other person has other responsibilities with him. Maybe he has a date night with his wife or his I would say spouse. So you have to understand one thing, everyone is one way or the other involved in certain things. So what happens, you will be able to understand the other person's point of view and you will stop judging him. Maybe you can come up with a good reason that why do you not want to work late night today? But yes, you have to understand the other person also has some valid reasons behind that, because if the project deadline is going to get delayed, the company has to pay the penalty, and company is not going to pay the penalty. You are the ultimate person who is going to pay the penalty, because of you the project got delayed. So let's move forward, and for some reason I have opened the clock. Now let's try to understand what are those professional etiquettes I have to follow. So first of all, you have to be respectful. With respectful, I mean, like let's say if someone is very senior to you, that does not mean like maybe they are not able to use a certain technology or maybe a tool. That does not mean that you should be laughing at them. That does not mean that you should not be respectable to them. Let's say there are juniors who are under you. If they are not able to perform, that does not mean that you should humiliate them. That does not mean that you should scold them in front of everyone. So you have to understand that you are ultimately working with human beings. Just like you have your friends, everyone has this kind of a scenario. So understand that this is something which is very important. You have to be respectful to everyone with whom you are working. Now, this is not just the professional etiquette, this is also an etiquette which is important for us. The second point is obviously staying accountable. Now, what do I mean by staying accountable? Does that mean that I have to keep on checking my account? No, it means that if a certain responsibility is given, you are acknowledging that and you are actually serious about that. Let's say if someone says, Avinash, by 5th of December 2022, we need to finish this project. Now, obviously, if you have some other engagements coming in, you have to make sure that you can actually revolve around it, and you can find a way to actually meet this deadline. That will mean that you are accountable and we can actually trust you. We can give you responsibilities. The next point is know what to wear. Now this is very important, know what to wear. What to wear does not mean that you can wear anything. Now obviously a lot of companies these days are asking you to that you can wear something which is casual, but that does not mean that you can wear anything. Okay, so try to understand that you have to wear important clothing, if I may, or I should say a professional attire. The next point is very important. Think before speaking. Now obviously I want to mention one thing here. Even I have made this mistake when I was not supposed to speak something with my expressions, if I may, or with my emotions in front of someone. So try to understand one thing. As a student, if we never taught about these professional etiquette, so you have to understand one thing which is very important. That whenever you're speaking something, that simply means this is your opinion, if I talk about. Okay, so if your expression, like if your emotions are quite not well, maybe someone is scolding you, or maybe you're quite happy, you have to understand what you have to speak, especially in a professional attire, and I would say in a professional setting, if I may, when you're sitting with clients and when you're sitting with a team. So you have to understand that you have to speak very carefully. With very carefully, what I mean, it should be quite professional. It should not sound very harsh or maybe unprofessional. The next point is obviously that you have to be positive about it. With positivity, I mean, like, let's say if someone says, Avinash, we have to do this, it does not mean, hey, okay, I'll not be able to do it, and I don't feel like we will be able to crack it. Maybe you are leading a team and you will say, okay, I don't think you guys can do it. It has to be like this is a dead project. No, it's not like that. Nobody likes naysayers. Nobody likes negative people. I'll give you a simple example. How many people you know in your life, let me know in the comment, that are negative and you are very good friends with them? Nobody is friends with them if someone is very negative. So be positive, be cheerful, because that is going to help. And the most important point which I have to mention in this particular video is don't take things personally. What do I mean by that? If someone is saying something to you, if someone is giving an instruction to you, that does not mean that they are actually punishing you, if I talk about. I'll give you a very simple scenario. Avinash, tomorrow is Saturday. Even though we have weekend off, you have to come to office because we have to complete this project. What does that mean? It does not mean that the person is asking, Avinash, you are not allowed to enjoy your Saturday, you have to come to office and you have to work. No. That particular person is giving an instruction to a person who is working in a company and the project deadline is now dead, and now that person wants that particular employee of the company to come on Saturday and work. There is a big difference. Don't take personally things simply means not you. It is basically like I would say third person talking. I'm talking to a third person that this person has to come to office because we are reaching the deadline. So don't take things personally. Nobody is punishing you. Nobody is actually going to punish you just because you are enjoying. So try to understand we don't have to take things personally. So obviously this is it for this particular video. If you have some questions related to professional etiquettes, I would request you to please put them in the comment section, because this is a very important topic. If you're going for an internship, if you're going for a job, this is going to be very important for your career. With this, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.